What is up guys, it's Mega and welcome back to yet another video. Guys, I'm going to give you my deck profile for the deck I took to Nationals and back, nearly made it into the top 128. And that deck is Numerons. Guys, I was playing Numerons before it was popular in Matt. Still been playing it for years, and I'm going to take you my take on it. Now just before we begin, this is obviously my opinion and you're free to disagree. Also, if you would like this video, hit that subscribe button, or cause we did the entire rank climb on Twitch. Hook up the hook me up, hit that follow button, and meet us for the live experience. And without further ado, let's get into the profile. Okay, guys. So, Numerons is basically, as you well know, you go second, play the field spell OTK. People think it's not got a lot of skill. I disagree. The deck needs some skill because you need to know what to hit, when to not hit, when to negate, when to not negate, that kind of thing. So we're starting off with the free effect veiler. Effect veiler is basically, as I say, discard it and target monster effect, negate it. All of our monsters, bear in mind, in our deck, every single one of these 20 are small world targets in order to go into Numeron Wall. I'll explain in a bit when we get to it. Speaking of Numeron Wall, you basically send it to the graveyard, activate Numeron Network directly from deck or hand. It can't be Ash because you're activating it, you're not adding it, so your opponent can't Ash you. Have a nice day. Secondly, its other effect is if you will take damage, you can special summon this card and end the battle phase. It's got that little battle fader effect as well. Maxi, just because every single deck in this deck apparently needs to have Maxi because we're playing the OCG. Just to draw some extra cards, hopefully to draw into one of the, I think we have like 14 ways to get into Numeron World, we'll count in a bit. Maxi, Ash Blossom, just because it's a fantastic hand trap, can stop a lot of stuff. Again, small world target, really great, near same more. Planet Pathfinder is near enough our only normal summon that you're going to use. Basically, it's just a monster version of Terraforming. You normal summon it, tribute it as cast, add a field spell. Sucks that you can't add Mystic Mine, otherwise I'd be adding 9 into this deck. But at the end of the day, you'd just be adding the Numeron Networks, basically just 3 copies of Numeron Network. Now in this game I'm running 2 copies of Lancia. You could bump this up to 3, cut something else. Lancia is just a way to go into our Lancia you're going to use to just basically go in or use to stop Floowandereeze, which isn't going to be a problem soon, and of course stopping Tenji's sword. So you could quite easily cut this now that Floowandereeze isn't going to be a thing because this deck really doesn't lose the sword sold. So by all means, cut this if you really want to. Maybe you want Pankatops at 2 because I did not realise this card was at 2. Otherwise I'd be running 2. Pankatops is just basically go second, pops shit go brr, then double Lava Golem. If anything, because I know that Floowandereeze is basically getting hit, I'd dump these 2 and add in 3 copies of another copy of Lava Golem and another Pankatops. But for now, this really does work. Pankatops is big. Well, Lava Golem is basically just a kaiju that requires 2 monsters, and that's basically it, and you're just going to use it to just crash into your opponent while outing the problematic monsters. Spells, Harpies, nukes the field, have a nice day. Terraforming, you're just going to add Numeron Network. And by the way, reason again where we're maining the Harpies, Feather Duster, and the Lightning Storms, the main thing this deck fears is back row, not basically monsters, so that's why you just want to force out your opponent's back row, then you just OTK. 1 for 1, we can discard any one of our monsters in order to normal summon Numeron Wall. Then Numeron Wall, because it'll be the only card on our field, you could basically tribute it off in order to activate Numeron Network, so that's really cool. And again, like I say guys, you can cut these 2 if you want to add the other Pankatops and Lava Golem. Lightning Storm, like I say, just to hit back row, but you can also hit monsters to bait out negates if need be. 2 copies of Calling, just because that's what we're going to be sending off of Network. Really cool. You can just basically summon out 4 of the boys OTK. Now here's the main thing. Small World. Why is Small World mandatory in Numerons? Reason why is because it's a free copy of Network. It turns any one of our monsters into Numeron Wall, which gets access to Network. So let me give you a prime example. So Lava Golem. Lava Golem is a fiend. It's a fiend level 8, 3000 attack, 2500 defense, and it's a fire attribute. With Small World, you have to have one thing in common. So what's the one thing in common with all the things in our deck? Ash Blossom, because the only thing they have in common is a fire attribute. You can only have one thing. And what does Ash have in common with Numeron Wall? Zero attack points. Only thing. So you can go from Lava Golem into Ash into Numeron Wall. And you can actually do the vice versa, because Lava Golem is a fiend, and that's the only thing it has in common with Numeron Wall. Pretty cool. You can actually go into Max C into Pankatops into Numeron Wall. You can also do Planet Pathfinder into Pankatops into Numeron Wall. You see what I mean? You can do everything just using bridges to go into Numeron Wall. Effect Veiler into Ash Blossom into Numeron Wall. You can just get everything into Numeron Wall because of Small World. It makes all of our monsters eligible to go into it. Then we have got obviously the main card itself, Numeron Network. Network basically sending a calling as cost, so again it can't be Ash, but it can be Ghost Ogre. Please be really about that. Then you summon out each one of the 4 Numeron gates, and it enables you to OTK. Drop bullet just to get around pesky monsters that can't be targeted. Yes, I'm talking about pesky crap stuff just like Dragoon. I know it's not in this game, but bear with me. Or stuff like Chaos Max, just stuff that just can't be targeted and you just want it in the game. And then Imperm is just a trap version of Effect Veiler, so you basically got like 6 monster negates, and also it's another way to try and stop powerful or underies. And that's it for the main deck. It's basically just interrupt your opponent, summon out the boys, go brr. Speaking of the boys, we have got 2 of each because you do not need to run 3 because we're only running 2 calling. By all means, you can be one of those people that run limiter removal. I'm actually thinking about putting limiter removal in this deck though, so not actually a terrible card, but I do not want to run Memories of Hope in this deck because it's really, really bad. So basically all of them have the same effect, where if they would battle a monster at the end of the damage step, you can double the attack points of all Numeron monsters you currently control. Basically means you're able to OTK, and all of them can't be destroyed by battle. Really, really cool. We have got 1 copy of Numeron Gate Shunya. Shunya basically is a mandatory effect where on summon it has to banish all monsters on the field. And basically Shunya has a secondary effect where during your next standby phase you can choose to resurrect it. However, if you do not control Numeron Network, you won't get Shunya's burn effect. Its burn effect is basically you deal the combined attack point of all banished exceeds. So if you only have 3 of the Numeron gates, you're only going to do 3,000 damage. But that is pretty much enough to OTK. But like I say, if you do not control Numeron Network, you will not get this burn effect. So now the reason why I'm running links is because, like I say, through calling you can only summon 1 other time after you summon the boys. So you can summon out 4 boys and go off one there. We have got Megaclops, which is a hard counter to Despia unless they have branded Banishment or Super Poly, which is the only 2 outs they would have to Megaclops. And then Sword Soul, because the only out to that they would have is basically Blackout. Yes, I know they all still run Imperms or they might run Drop, but we're talking about in Archetype outs to it, they only have like 1 or 2 outs. So Megaclops is a really, really hard counter for them to get over. Schooldred Saryuya basically try to fix our hand if need be, because you can just basically draw 4, put back 3 cards that you might not need. Because if you Avamax, really good against Sky Strikers, because this card can't be targeted by card effects when it's linked summoned, so anything that targets this card, basically this card doesn't really care about. Also, if it would battle a special summon monster, it gains that monster's attack points during damage calc. This is not a once per turn effect, so and it also works if your opponent will attack into you. Appaloosa, because if we use it with the 4 Numeron gates, we're going to have a 4-mat Appaloosa, which will go up to 3,200 attack, which means 4 monster negates. We have got access code talker, which you're basically going to use with our Mega Clops, simply because you can go for Mega Clops with any one of your other monsters and just go into 5,300 tap point access code. We can just pop the field and then attack directly for game. And then we've got Underworld Goddess, which can use one of your opponent's monsters and all 4 of your gates to go into this thing. On summon, it negates all face-up monsters, and that is a permanent negate. Also, if your opponent would summon a monster from the graveyard, this card can negate that effect. And finally, this thing is unaffected by everything that does not target it. So basically between these two, you've got Avamax that can't be targeted, and and Goddess that basically is unaffected unless they target. So between the two, you've got everything covered. And that's basically for the deck, guys. It's very straightforward. Yes, there are a lot of ultra rares. If you're going to play this deck, you basically need to go from the mindset you are playing Numeron. So yeah, without any further ado, I do hope you enjoyed, guys. Let me know what you think of what someone calls hand trap goes burr. And also, like I say, guys, all of the replays that you're about to see are streamed live, so you get to see what we kind of do go live. And without any further ado, I hope you guys have a great day, and remember, click that subscribe button. In a bit, guys.